if Black lives truly matter, then, as I said to him, to his face, then something will be done about the black on black crime, about abortion, about the fatherless homes, the crime that we commit, etc., etc. If our lives mattered, we would never vote Democrat.
I know that's right. I know that line right there. That line, if Black lives truly mattered, we would never vote Democrat. I remember a time where a line like that would be extremely controversial for my thought process. And that line makes people mad because it doesn't insult. It quite literally accuses. It asks one simple thing the left hates, and we know that is results. If the policies work, that line wouldn't sting, but it does because deep down people, they know something is off. So what happens when someone takes that thought seriously and acts on it?
Explaining to my family and friends that I could not, for the life of me, again, vote for a Democratic Party again, was probably one of the toughest things I ever had to do. And once I made that statement publicly, like on social media and stuff like that, that's when all hell broke loose. Because it was like, it was okay for me to feel that way and have that opinion, as long as, it was a family secret, right? But the minute that I decided to publicize it, that's when it became a problem. I began to lose clients from my business. I had people calling me up talking about they can't work with somebody who will vote for a racist or a Nazi. And I'm like, wait a minute. You talk about vote for a racist. J.B. Pritzker's a big ass racist. He don't like black people. What? He need black people, and he don't even need us no more. You know why? Because they didn't import it, the brown people. So they don't even need the white people, the black people anymore. So I had to sit back and really question myself, like, bro, is this really what you want to do? Like, you losing a lot of money behind this, This is real. But it became a matter of my morals, my values, and what I truly wanted to teach my kids. Like, yes, I want to lose every dime behind me being able to have the freedom to make a decision and having the freedom to stand on it. And having the freedom to say comfortably who I am and what I'm okay with. So business started failing. Friends who I thought were friends, family members stopped talking to me, started talking about me, and then we started having the problems. I put a Trump sticker on my car. What the hell did I do that for? In the middle of the hood with a Trump sticker on your car?
Boom.
That was brave. But I did it because I gave no fucks, because I know how to fight. And surprisingly for me, more people were interested in my decision why than it was people angry with my decision why.
That's good.
And I began to have the opportunity to explain to people why I was making the decision that I was making. And even more surprisingly, it made sense to them too.
Now, this is the part, this is the quiet part, rather. Democrats don't just argue ideas. They punish exes, right? You don't get debated. You get exiled. And notice the tactic. Labels over logic. They always use, the isms, you're a racist or you're Nazis and all that. And obius. That's not persuasion. That's control. So if leaving costs you people, why do it at all?
Since leaving the Democratic Party, I no longer have an oppressed, depressed mindset. I hold myself accountable for my actions. I'm closer to God. I don't judge people off their skin tone. I go off character. I'm just more happier. Since leaving the Democratic Party,
I'm going to let her say it one more time.
I no longer have an oppressed, depressed mindset.
Oppressed, depressed mindset. I'm going to have to use that in that sequence.
I hold myself accountable for my actions. I'm closer to God. I don't judge people off their skin tone. I go off character.
I know that's right. Now, here's what the left never prepares you for. Peace. They prepare you for everything else but peace. When the victim script ends, responsibility starts. And the funny thing is, happiness, it follows. That's why this clip scares them. You can't shame joy, but the left survives on fear. We know that they thrive on that thing. So let's talk about the biggest one.
Supposed to be coming in my comments talking about wait till ICE come after me because I'm next. Let me just say this, bro. Say it with your chest, because that's not what you really want to say. Man and woman, both of y'all been saying it. You want me to be next. You hope I'm next. It's an indirect threat. You try to hide behind the wait till ICE come after you. That's not what you really want to say. You hope I'm next. So I'm going to let that indirect threat slide because I really think it pisses y'all off that it's literally impossible for me to be next. I think it pisses y'all off that I'm just not in that situation. But the indirect threats, bro, y'all ain't really got to do that. Just say it with your chest on how you really feel. ICE has already came to my city, and I just stayed out the way. Just like if there was any day that somebody said there's heavy police presence in this area, I just stay out the way. But I don't have nothing to look back over my shoulders for. I have nothing to worry about. So it really pisses y'all off that y'all fell into this trap of being lied to, talking about they're coming after us next. They're going to get you next. I'm not the type to be fearmonger, bro. You actually sound dumb as hell. I'm really not one of them. ICE was here. I went about my day, went to the stores I needed to go to. I never had to look over my shoulder. They probably saw me. They be in unmarked vehicles. But I have nothing to worry about. Y'all be having these doodle brains listening to everything on the internet talking about they coming after you next. But see, y'all need to keep that over there, though. Don't come in my comments talking about I'm next, because that's not really what you mean. You want me to be next. You hope I'm next. So instead of this indirect threat, just say it with your chest on how you really feel.
Say it with your chest is what he said. Listen to how boring the truth is, right? No panic, no hysteria, just facts. Fear only works when you never let people finish a sentence, right? And my fault, y'all. I was over here wondering why my computer doing this little weird thing with my tabs. But yeah, it only works when you don't let the people speak. And once they do, that spell breaks completely. And when that spell breaks, the propaganda, it starts sounding really ridiculous.
To all you Black Americans that keep saying, this is not our fight, this is not our fight, ICE is not our fight, ICE is not our problem. Just so you know, they're actively detaining, kidnapping, and deporting Black American citizens.
Lies.
You heard that, right? Yeah. So while you guys are sitting at home, sipping on your little Hennessy's, there's Black Americans who are actively being deported right now. And guess what? You're going to be next. If you're not white, you're not safe. So you need to be out there on the front lines. They just kidnapped somebody today. An Black American citizen. Yeah, so don't think that you're safe. No person of color is safe. So we all need to be out there, okay? Just so you know. They just deported an American citizen straight from Somalia. So just in case you were thinking that you're safe. Sorry to break it to you, but you're not safe. So go ahead and get out there on the front lines, folks.
So this is what talking points sound like. Out loud. What did she even say? Really? Strip away the music. Wish it wasn't a music there, if I'm being honest. I just heard a lot of noise in the background. I guess the theatrics is what I was going for. But just get away from all that and the outrage. And it's just a... Once people see the joke, the anger just shows up. That's all I can say. I don't really have a commentary about that clown show. I'm for real.
So do y'all notice who isn't at these ICE protests / riots? Black people. Yeah. We're not going to be used anymore for your white liberal agenda that continues to use minority communities for your pet projects of trying to prove your sense of virtue and value to others. Yeah, we're finished with that. So please, stop it with these emotional ploys that are trying to beg Black people to come out and join you in defending our communities. Yeah, our communities aren't illegal immigrant communities. Illegal immigrants who come into this country, they don't respect us, first of all. our tax dollars are being wasted on them thanks to you white liberals who we've been noticing for quite a long time have deputized yourselves as the overseers of all politics related to black people. Yeah, there's no black and brown. There's no people of color, the groups and categories that you like to lump us into in order to carry forward your agendas of control, acting as overseers of our communities. Yeah, see, here's the thing. In the midst of your riots, where you're finally figuring out that you're FAFO, you're finding out, yeah, we're not interested. We see the game, we see the scam, and we're just not interested. So stop asking us to come out there. Stop asking us to join into this. I'm glad that you're finding out that you're just like everyone else, especially when you go out there on your vigilantism, pretending to be superheroes, where you think that you can stop 5,000-pound vehicles with your whistles. Yeah, we're not interested. Leave us alone. Leave us out of this. We have important things to do. And you know where else you effed up? When you decided that it was okay to barge into a house of worship and take it over and yell and scream and threaten children. Yeah, we don't get down with that. Y'all keep that shit to yourselves. We're not going to be out here advocating to replace ourselves with illegals.
I know that's right, man. Now, this isn't hate. It's memory. Communities noticing patterns, patterns. Excuse me. I got to make sure I finish my words. I got a habit of not putting the S's at the end of them. But communities, they notice that, promises made and votes taken, problems always ignored. Anger looks wild until you trace where it came from. Now, let's name who's actually offended by this.
For all the black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping black Americans too.
White liberal racism is worse than getting called the hard R every single day of my life. Because what do you mean that because I'm black, I'm supposed to empathize with literal criminals rather than caring about our country being safe? The caucasity that you have to sit here and act like you're more American than me. Technically, my people were imported here by popular demand. So no, I'm not going to sit here with fear of deportation. Where are they going to send me? Back to Air One? ICE is literally not the concern of black people. Illegals breaking into our country, stealing our resources, violating our women, and trafficking our children, all while refusing to assimilate to the country that they broke into. That is the concern of black people. That is the concern of all sane Americans. So I'm going to sit here and continue to support ICE, and you're going to sit there and continue wrestling with this bizarre hatred that you have towards your own ancestors.
Oh, man.
For all the black Americans saying ICE isn't...
Wow, my boy, cut on the stove. For real. This is the line Democrats don't cross because it costs them power. Speaking for black Americans while calling it help, it's, I don't know, it's the narrative rhetoric wrapped up in compassion language, right? And when real life hits, man, the pressure, it just explodes.
It don't matter, funky bitch. You ain't one of them fucking things around here, ho. All these fucking illegal ass immigrants in this motherfucker, and I gotta stand outside for illegal? Fuck you, white bitch. I hate you, illegal immigrant motherfuckers, and I hope ICE gets you bitches. Take you back to those shitholes. And I'm gonna see you again, my nigga. For shit show, you hear me? I'm gonna make sure you mind your fucking business. Bunch of fucking illegal immigrants. It don't matter, funky.
Yeah. It says that Americans seeking medical care was told to wait outside. You don't have to like how it sounds to understand why it happened. And of course, I'm not with none of the racist shit ever. This is what ignored stress looks like when it finally speaks, though. Policies feel theoretical until the bill shows up in real life. Now, I want you to watch how this story actually ends.
I want to publicly repent for all the stuff that I said about Donald Trump, because after watching this video, I believe this pastor is right.
Don't say anything negative about the president. Just pray for him. Because God is using that man outside your understanding. You can only understand Donald Trump if you read the Old Testament and see how God used prophets to destroy. So So guess what? On one side, Donald Trump is doing God's will, while at the same time, he's also producing the very vengeance that's going to cause people to attack us in the future. But it's ordained that way, okay? They are dancing so much in Nigeria because Donald Trump went over there for one reason and brought it with the United States military. He said, oh, you want to kill Christians? Wonderful. We're going to kill you. And we sent a bunch of military people over there, and they just start knocking down terrorists like you do at the bowling alley. He said, this is return for what you're doing to Christians. So the Nigerians are dancing. Then I woke up this morning and found out that Donald Trump then bombed Venezuela and kidnapped the president and his wife and brought them back to America. I was like, what? Do you realize how crazy this is? Your president said, y'all won't stop with the drugs over here, and I have known for decades. He gave him a chance. He said, okay, stop. We first gonna start bombing your boats. How many know for the last few weeks our military have been bombing all the boats bringing drugs to America, killing your kids? They want evil in this country. They want drugs to keep it systematic. Never mind. They said we have overwhelming evidence that the president of Venezuela was in cahoots with the drug dealers pouring drugs into America. That is not something that you do, is you break into another country, bomb the man's home, and take the president and his wife of Venezuela and then put them on a helicopter and bring them back to Brooklyn. This is crazy. But guess who's rejoicing? You want to know who's rejoicing? The Venezuelans. So that should tell you something. Why is it every time, all the people talk about this man, but every time he does something, the people rejoice. And so you're making decisions based on emotions of what you think. You're not making decisions based on how God uses men. When you see how God is using this man, he fits so easily into scripture when God gets ready to judge evil. And the men that he always uses to judge evil are always crazy.
Now, this is why the title really matters. Not rage, reflection. I was wrong, he says. That sentence takes courage, and Democrats don't teach that. Conservatism does, accountability does, truth does. Now, this isn't about worshiping a politician, rather. It's about walking away from a lie. And if more people were allowed to leave without being attacked, you'd hear the sentence a lot more often. I was wrong about Trump. And leaving the Democrats finally made sense. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write accountability. That way I know it actually stayed to the end. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.